Our brain's the command center, right? But what if some of your daily routines are pressing the slow down button? Let's dive into 8 habits that, unbeknownst to many, might be messing with our cerebral circuits. Time for some brain healthy insights. Are you ready for some clarity? Number 8. Missing breakfast. You've heard it before and you're hearing it again. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And if you skip breakfast, you're messing with your brain right from the very start of the day. My friends, breakfast is like recharging your brain. Your body enters a fasting state when you sleep, and breakfast is the meal that breaks that fast. It refills your energy reserves and supplies the nutrients your brain requires to perform optimally. Consider it fuel for your brain and body, similar to how a car needs gas to start. Still not worried about missing breakfast? Well, this might change your mind. According to studies, skipping breakfast can result in diminished memory, a lower attention span, and decreased overall cognitive performance. Guys, trust us, you're setting yourself up for success by taking a few additional minutes in the morning to have a good meal. Choose brain-boosting nutrients such as whole grains, fruits, and protein-rich foods. And also, never forget to hydrate. Number 7. Sitting for extended periods. We've all had days when we were glued to our desks, whether at work, studying, or binge-watching our favorite shows. But here's the catch. Our brains aren't built to be sedentary for lengthy periods of time, and if you do so, you're damaging them. So, what is it about prolonged sitting that is so bad for our brains? Let me break it down for you. Our bodies become stagnant when we sit for long periods of time, and blood flow to the brain decreases. Consider it a traffic bottleneck on the highway of information and nutrients that your brain requires to function properly. It's the same as depriving your brain of its regular supply of fuel and oxygen, which is definitely not a formula for success. But don't worry, my friends, there's a simple way to counteract the detrimental consequences of extended sitting. Movement. Yes, it's time to get up, move those limbs, and show your brain some love. Even if you're feeling lazy and you don't want to get up, force yourself to move. I promise you'll feel much better for it. Number 6. Lack of sleep. Most of you must have experienced the effects of lack of sleep, such as feeling sluggish, unable to focus, and overall being in a foul mood during the day. However, sleep deprivation may be even more detrimental to the body, particularly the brain, than you realize. For example, if you've ever lost your way home or forgotten your keys somewhere and can't remember where, lack of sleep is most likely to blame for this short-term memory loss. So, why is sleep so important? Well, our brains do not simply shut down when we sleep. In reality, they're quite busy behind the scenes, supporting memory consolidation, learning, and overall brain health. Our brains clear out waste products, repair damaged cells, and improve the neurological connections that allow us to think, learn, and remember when we sleep. The hitch is that not every night is the same. It's not just about the quantity of sleep, it's also about the quality. So, exactly what do we mean by quality sleep? Quality sleep is defined as having enough undisturbed, deep sleep cycles to allow your brain to move through the stages of restorative sleep. These stages include both REM, rapid eye movement sleep, which is associated with dreaming, and NREM sleep, which is a deeper, more restorative phase. If you're not getting good quality sleep, then you need to worry because your brain is not recovering from the everyday toll the way it should. Number 5. Having too much sugar. Okay, we all ingest sugar, whether deliberately or unknowingly, in the majority of our food and beverages. In fact, we reach a point when we start craving sugar. These sugar cravings are usually a natural reaction to stress, because when we're overwhelmed, we crave more energy, and the quickest way to acquire that boost is through sugar. So what happens when we consume too much sugar? According to research, a high sugar diet can impair cognitive performance, cause memory issues, and possibly raise the risk of neurodegenerative illnesses. Moreover, excess sugar consumption can cause chronic inflammation in the body, including the brain. This inflammation has the potential to harm our brain cells and alter the delicate balance of neurotransmitters, affecting our mood, cognition, and overall brain health. So, how do I get rid of this sugary habit? Pro tip: Instead of sugary drinks, hydrate with water. Sugary drinks such as soda, fruit juice, or energy drinks not only add unnecessary sugar to your diet, but they can also cause blood sugar spikes and falls, disrupting the stability and energy levels of your brain. Number 4. Neglecting mental stimulation. Let's talk about an often overlooked factor: not using our brains enough. This is one of the most common ways we hinder our brain's potential. Our brains are remarkable organs, constantly seeking new information, making connections, and developing. However, if we neglect to provide them with mental challenges, we're essentially wasting their immense capacity. When we ignore mental stimulation, it's as if we put our minds on autopilot. We fall into a routine of going through the motions without engaging our cognitive faculties. Just like a muscle that weakens with disuse, our brains can stagnate without proper mental exercise. But why is mental stimulation so vital for brain health? As mentioned earlier, our brains thrive on novelty, learning, and intellectual challenges. When we actively participate in mentally demanding activities like reading, solving puzzles, learning new skills, or engaging in meaningful conversation, we create new neural pathways, reinforce existing connections, and improve our cognitive abilities. Let's embrace the importance of seeking new challenges to keep our brains healthy and fit. Let's engage in activities that provide mental stimulation and help us to continue to learn and grow. Remember, our brains are like sponges, eager to absorb knowledge and expand their capabilities. Number 3. Chronic stress. Stress is something we all face from time to time. But when it becomes a chronic issue, it can have major consequences for our mental health. So let's get into the topic of chronic stress and see why it's a habit we need to break. Imagine being continuously assaulted from all sides with deadlines, demands, and pressures. Your body is always in fight or flight, with stress chemicals racing through your veins. You start breaking down and never feel at ease. This is what we call chronic stress. When we are persistently stressed, our bodies remain on high alert, and our brains suffer the brunt of the strain. Prolonged stress hormone release, such as cortisol, can cause severe brain cell damage and alter the delicate balance of neurotransmitters. It's like subjecting our brains to an endless storm, degrading their resilience and impairing their ideal functioning. So, how do we deal with this issue? Incorporate stress reduction strategies into your everyday routine. Practice relaxation techniques such as deep breathing exercises, meditation, and yoga. These practices can stimulate the relaxation response in the body and generate a sensation of peace. And most importantly, prioritize good quality sleep. Number 2. Multitasking madness. Let's have a conversation about multitasking, a so-called superpower that many of us take pride in. However, here's the harsh truth. Multitasking can actually be detrimental to our brain health. It's important to remember that our brains are not multi-core processors capable of handling multiple tasks simultaneously without consequence. In reality, multitasking for extended periods can take a toll on our brains. So, what exactly happens to our brains when we attempt to multitask? When we engage in multitasking, our brains constantly shift focus, refocus, and readjust. Each time we switch between activities, we pay a cognitive penalty in the form of reduced efficiency, a higher chance of errors, and decreased overall output. It's akin to trying to spin plates while riding a unicycle. An invitation for disaster. You must be wondering what the solution is to this multitasking predicament. It all boils down to harnessing the power of single tasking and cultivating mindful focus. Instead of spreading ourselves too thin and striving to accomplish everything simultaneously, let's prioritize our tasks, tackle them one at a time, and give each one our undivided attention. By embracing single tasking and focusing on one thing at a time, we can enhance our productivity, efficiency, and overall brain health. This allows us to fully immerse ourselves in the task at hand, giving it the attention it deserves. Number 1 is alcohol consumption. The more alcohol there is in the body, the more cells in the brain die. No wonder you lose your mind when high on alcohol. When we drink alcohol, it enters our bloodstream and travels quickly to our brains. It alters the connection between our brain cells, causing neurotransmitter levels to change and having a variety of repercussions on cognition, behavior, and overall brain function. It is true that alcohol may provide sensations of exhilaration and relaxation at first, but excessive and sustained alcohol intake can cause catastrophic brain damage. The consequences of alcohol can be both short-term and long-term, but they are deadly for the brain. So, what can we do to reduce the risks of excessive alcohol consumption? Well, it's all about balance and making informed decisions. Understand your limitations and set them for yourself. Pace yourself. Alternate alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. And be cautious of the size and strength of your drinks. So, my friends, let's heal our brain damage by minimizing alcohol use. After identifying the habits harming your brain, let's learn how we can fortify it. Explore simple steps to skyrocket your IQ, or a wake-up call on living life to its fullest potential. Your next enlightening chapter awaits. Loving our content? Please like, share your thoughts, and stay connected.